Here's a quick overview of the events in Spain relating to communism as it relates to the events in the United States. When Franco's fascist troops invaded Spain in 1936 for the purpose of overthrowing the young and unstable republic, the Spanish working class responded by making a revolution that went much further toward realizing the classless and stateless ideal of proletarian socialism than any preceding popular revolt. Spontaneously and almost overnight, workers seized factories and other workplaces, and land was collectivized. Workers' militias were formed throughout the country. The church was dismantled, its property confiscated. Established political institutions disintegrated or were taken over by workers' committees. In a decade of cataclysmic worldwide depression and spreading fascism, the revolution in Spain signaled a message of renewed hope, and this is probably written by a socialist, to the scattered forces of working class emancipation throughout the globe. Not least in the United States, American intellectuals and unionists responded very favorably and created the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, which went to Spain to fight in that struggle. Supporting the workers' revolution were Spain's largest unions, and I'll just tell you the letters that represent these people. Confederación Nacional de Trabajo, CNT, the National Confederation of Labor, but it stands for Confederación Nacional de Trabajo, CNT. Another one is UGT, General Union of Workers. Another one is POUM, the Workers' Party of Marxist Unity, a small nucleus of Trotskyists, and finally number 5 is the Communist Party. The Spanish Communist Party and many socialists maintained that Spain was not ripe for an anti-capitalist revolution and openly declared themselves in favor of the bourgeois republic. After Franco secured military assistance from Hitler's Germany and Mussolini's Italy, the Spanish Communist Party, which in the early days of the revolution had been small, rapidly became a major power as Stalin's Russia sent numerous military officers and political advisors, as well as some military aid, to shield the remnant of the Republican government. So basically, the communists not only want to have a revolution and install full-fledged communism in Spain, but they're trying to oppose Franco, who's in league with Hitler and Mussolini. Very similar to what happened in regard to the United States fighting against Hitler. Communists joined forces with us in their opposition of fascism. The anarchist movement in the United States in the 1930s was not large, but it quickly mounted a nationwide campaign in defense of workers in Spain that vastly exceeded its numerical energies. The CNT, which is the Confederation of Labor in Spain, one of the Spanish labor movements. The CNT's U.S. representative, Spanish-born Maximiliano Ole, veteran of anarchist labor struggles in Cuba, and among immigrant cigar makers in Tampa, Florida, and for many years a leading figure of Chicago's Free Society group, moved to New York and opened an office for propaganda on Lower Fifth Avenue. At his instigation, the various U.S. Jewish, Russian, Spanish, and Italian anarchist federations and groups, as well as English language groups such as the New York Vanguard Group and several branches of the Industrial Workers of the World, formed the ad hoc United Libertarian Organizations to produce a paper of news and information titled Spanish Revolution. Besides publishing Spanish Revolution, the United Libertarian Organizations held mass meetings in many cities and raised thousands of dollars for the embattled comrades in Spain. The United Libertarian Organizations, ULO, United Libertarian Organizations. The ULO's constituent groups also promoted the revolution in their own papers and issued separate publications of their own. The Yiddish language weekly brought out the English translation of Rudolf Rocker's pamphlet, The Truth About Spain. The Italian language carried important communications from Spain by the renowned anarchist Camillo Berneri. The IWW's Weekly Industrial Worker and One Big Union Monthly featured reports by Pat Reed and other wobblies in the Spanish trenches. In many countries, the social democratic parties opposed the revolution, but in the United States, the Socialist Party, large sections of which had moved sharply to the left, a development hastened by the influx of a disciplined and energetic group of Trotskyists, took up the banner of the Workers' Revolution and even organized and funded a substantial military unit, the Eugene Debs Column, a substantial military unit to fight in Spain. Ernest Urbez, E-R-B-E-R, a leader of the Young People's Socialist League, joined the editorial staff of the POUM's paper, La Batalla. The Friends of Workers Spain in Chicago existed primarily to promote English language POUM publications throughout the American labor movement. Also oriented toward the POUM, though not without sometimes severe criticisms of its policies, were Hugo Ohler's Revolutionary Workers League and Albert Weisbord's Communist League of Struggle. Ohler's oft-reprinted pamphlet, Barricades in Barcelona, remains an important eyewitness account of the workers' May Days revolt in 1937. Weisbord went to Spain as a correspondent for The Nation and issued a special Spanish issue of his own mimeographed journal, Class Struggle, in September 1937. The Trotskyists, inside the Socialist Party, but still producing publications of their own, issued many polemics by Trotsky and others. Other small Marxist groups, including the Proletarian Party and the Lovestoneites, named after J. Lovestone, also defended the revolution in Spain and devoted much space to it in their press. When fascism emerged triumphant in Spain in 1939, many Spanish revolutionaries sought political asylum in the United States. By far the largest group rallied around España Libre, a broad-based bilingual paper devoted to news of struggles in Spain, as well as the widely scattered exile community. Produced in New York by the Confederated Spanish Societies, España Libre continued to appear monthly until the death of Franco in 1975. The first U.S. study of the Spanish Revolution was Trotskyist Felix Mauro's pamphlet, Civil War in Spain, followed later by a full-length Revolution and Counter-Revolution in Spain. American radicals, especially anarchists, have written prodigiously on the subject ever since. Noam Chomsky's essay, Objectivity and Liberal Scholarship, in his American Power and the New Mandarins, 1969. Sam Goldoff's anthology, The Anarchist Collectives, 1974. And David Porter's Vision of Fire, Emma Goldman on the Spanish Revolution, 1983, are among the more influential works that have emphasized the revolutionary nature of the struggles in Spain.